In this video, we're going to show you how to upload your input data set for analysis to Aplos NCA. So once you're logged into your Aplos account, easiest way is to click on Input Data right here on the left, and this will bring you to the page where you can see previous data sets that you have uploaded, and you can also upload a new data set. So you can either just drag and drop a data set onto this icon here, or you can click on it. If you click on it, it'll bring up a finder for you, whether you're on Mac or a PC, and you can select the data set of interest. I'm going to select this data set here, and in a Mac, I can actually take a little preview of it, and so we're going to see the structure of the data set. So first of all, your data has to be stacked, so each individual has to be stacked on top of the next one. And so all of your time columns, all of your time data is in the same column, all of your concentration data is in the same column. The names of the columns are not specified. You can name them anything you want. It's important you only have one header row. If you have multiple header rows, you should go ahead and delete the second row. Sometimes you'll have data sets, especially if you export from other software, that'll have a header row, and then the second row is units for that row. You'll need to delete that units row before you upload it. And then you'll go ahead and you can have as many wide columns as you want. I'll actually show another example in a second about an ADPC data set, which has a lot of different columns. So you click OK, and it'll go ahead and it'll upload. Now, when it uploads, it actually does two things. The first thing is it uploads and securely adds the data set to your account, and you can see that it appears right here. The second thing that it also does is if it is not in a CSV format, so if it's in a SAS transport, or if it is in Excel, or if it is in another delimited format, it will convert it to a CSV for analysis. Now, that conversion process, when we do the analysis, we actually return the original formatted file as well as the converted file to you so that you can verify that the conversion was done correctly. But let me show you now how you would upload an ADPC data set. So this is a SAS transport data set, so I can't actually see it. I'm actually going to click on this one, and this is a CSV conversion. So you see it has all the standard SDTM headers in it, and it has all sorts of information, many rows that you may or may not need for the analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to choose the SAS transport version of this, and I'm going to click open, and it's going to upload, and so it's going to start uploading that file. And like I said, it's going to do two things. It's going to upload the file, but then it's actually going to process the file and convert it. And so you can see that it is converted the file here, and so it's saying the name of the file and converted, and you can actually plot the data if you want to plot the data to see what's going on. So this little plot icon here opens up what we call our Data Explorer. And this Data Explorer allows you to quickly plot the data to make sure you understand what are the right columns you need to use in your analysis. So your unique ID column, it's just going to select the first column for all of these. It selects subject, that's the right one. My time column is called time, and concentration is const. And so I can see all of the profiles there with all the subjects. If we wanted to do grouping variables, we could add grouping variables here, and then it would group by different variables. In this case, we don't have any grouping variables that are necessarily important to separate things. We can look at it linear or logarithmic. And if you click this button here, you can show a single profile. So you can look at different subjects to make sure that they're right. And if you want to hide the legend so you get a bigger plot area, you can see that. So you can click through and see, okay, I don't need any grouping variables, and I can have a single profile just by the unique identifier. So we go ahead and we close that. Here's an example where you would need grouping variables. So this is the ADPC data set. And in this data set, see, it just picks the first column. So we are going to change that and use uSubjectID. And actually, I'm going to move it and say subject ID. It's a little shorter. The time column is AREL-TM, so actual relative time. And then the concentration is in AVAL. So I'm going to put that in here, And so looks great. I can see the data, but if I say show single profile, here's one subject profile, but there's actually multiple profiles. So we would need some grouping variables. And so one grouping variable that we would need is the parent versus metabolite. So here's the parent and there's the metabolite, but still there's three, it's probably better here on the metabolites, you can see there's three distinct profiles. So we also need something else, which is the treatment. So there's the treatment identifier, and I'm going to turn off the legend here so we can see it better. So here is subject 402, parent T100, and treatment B. There's treatment A and treatment C, and now it's the metabolite treatment B, A, and C. And the A, B, and C are just in the order that they're in the data set. So now I can see that I have single profiles. So I'm going to need these grouping variables in my analysis, param CD and EXTRT. And again, we can close the Data Explorer. So that is how you upload data into Aplos NCA and how you can view it. And then when you want to analyze it, you just click this little gear icon here.